Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a Rowan County couple is trying to pick up the pieces of their lives after an overnight house fire claimed their home. And what some are now calling a crisis. Legislators heard from multiple experts on the state's housing shortage.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee. Here on this July 29th, we are at 6:29 this morning, and it is time for a check of our weather with Megan Dusmal. And it's hot, Megan. It really, really is.
Yeah, I feel like there's no other word that perfectly describes the day other than that. It's just hot, and we're going to continue to see those hot temperatures all day long, starting this morning as we are sitting in those 70s, already at 75 degrees in Monticello. We'll continue to see those temperatures warming up into the afternoon as we head into the hottest part of your day. We're looking at a mixture of those low 90s. Now, humidity will be high today, so it's no surprise that those feels like temperatures will be in the upper 90s and low triple digits. So please stay hydrated, especially as you approach those later hours of the day. Here's a look at satellite and radar. Nice and clear this morning, but we do have some slight chances of showers in the morning hours and slight chances for storms as you're heading into the afternoon and evening. All in all, though, the main story will just be how hot it is today. Amelia.
In East Tennessee, the U.S. Marshals Service says a man wanted for murder in New York was arrested. U.S. Marshals and the Smoky Mountains Task Force arrested the man on Saturday at a Knoxville Greyhound station. They say Keshawn Green was the only suspect in a deadly shooting that happened at a Wegmans warehouse in Gates, New York. A Perry County man is dead after an ATV crash. The case still being investigated by the Perry County Sheriff's Office. WYMT's Neely Green has the details about what we know so far.
On Friday, the Perry County Sheriff's Office responded to an ATV crash at Bulls Creek in the Cornetsville community.
It was probably 4 to 5 miles from the entrance of Bull Creek, which is on the south end of Perry County.
Jesse Day with the Sheriff's Office says when officers got to the scene, they found the man. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Units responded to the scene. Upon their arrival, they found a male subject that was deceased.
The man was later identified as 28-year-old Joseph Brett Ray. Day says Ray was traveling on a trail when the incident happened.
It was on a ATV trail, wasn't on the main road.
Day says the incident is still pending investigation, but from what officers saw, the ATV had overturned.
On the investigation report from the deputies that was on the scene, it overturned. He was ejected, partially ejected from the side by side.
In Perry County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Funeral arrangements for Ray have been made through Maggard Funeral Homes in Hazard. Rescue crews in southern Kentucky responded to homeowners trapped inside their home from overnight flooding. At around 10:30 last night, the London Laurel County Rescue Squad and other officials responded to Laurel River Road, where people were trapped in their home from high waters. Rescue crews used a boat to get the homeowners to solid ground and are warning everyone to remain weather aware. A woman is dead after being hit by a vehicle on the Penny-Ryle Parkway in Christian County. State police say this crash happened just before 1 o'clock Sunday near mile marker 22 on the Penny-Ryle Parkway. Kristen Bowling of Masonsville, Ohio, was outside her car securing luggage when a car left the roadway and hit both her and her car. The driver was identified as 62-year-old Jeffrey Callahan of Madisonville. Bowling was pronounced dead at the scene, and the investigation is ongoing. In Cable County, West Virginia, a man is charged with voluntary manslaughter in connection with the death of another inmate at the Western Regional Jail. West Virginia State Police say that back in May, Alan Adkins got into a fight at the jail with an inmate who later died due to brain bleeding. Adkins will be in court today for a preliminary hearing. A Rowan County couple is trying to pick up the pieces of their lives after an overnight house fire claimed their home and left one of them in the hospital. Morgan Bradley says it's a bittersweet day for her family. On one hand, her grandparents, Harold and Loretta Smedley, are alive, but on the other, they have nothing left of the home they've been at for more than 50 years. Bradley says it was around midnight yesterday when that fire broke out in her grandparents' kitchen. She says her grandmother made it out fine, while her grandfather has second-degree burns on his face, arms, legs, and feet.
They are in late 70s, early 80s, and they're not able-bodied like they used to be. So it's going to be a family team effort of picking up the pieces together and putting it back together as a whole the best we can.
Harold Smedley is currently being treated at a burn unit in Louisville. We have a link to their GoFundMe page inside the story on our website, WYMT.com. A Whitesburg woman pleaded guilty to conspiring with others to traffic drugs from Kentucky to Southwest Virginia. And Dora Lee Smith was sentenced to a little more than 12 years as a result. In a news release, Smith conspired with others to distribute large amounts of meth and fentanyl in Southwest Virginia. Smith also traveled to Louisville to obtain drugs for distribution. Smith worked as a teacher at 2 different schools in Norton, Virginia for 15 years. Well, we are now hearing promising news about 2 survivors of a deadly shooting at Richmond Road Baptist Church in Lexington. Pastor Jerry Gum is now able to speak after a bullet to the face nearly tore off his tongue. His daughter says he's still in pain but recovering. The other survivor, Randy Combs, has been discharged from the hospital. He's now learning to raise 5 children on his own after his wife and mother-in-law were killed in the attack. The church community says they're leaning on their faith and each other to keep moving forward. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office says Caleb Rice died at Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital after a crash Friday afternoon on Highway 1275. Maggie Rickerby talked to the Wayne County principal about their loss as they remember Caleb.
He had the sweetest, most contagious smile that you couldn't not smile back at him.
According to his obituary, Caleb Rice was just 3 weeks shy of his 17th birthday. He was set to be a sophomore here at Wayne County High School. Principal Renee Kennett has known Caleb for years.
Caleb will always be known for, I think, #1, his work ethic and his just positive attitude. He was such a fun kid to be around, and he was a bright light in a dark place. You know, he was one of those that just really made everyone be a better person.
Caleb played football and basketball here at Wayne County High School, and Mrs. Kennett says his fiery energy was always fun to watch.
He gave 110%. It didn't matter how big the person next to him was. He was not going to let that deter him from being the best player that he could possibly be.
Caleb's basketball coach, Jared Parmley, describes him as the perfect student athlete. He says Caleb was well-liked, a good friend, and a good teammate. Coach Parmley says he was a great leader to younger players and relentless in his passion for basketball. Mrs. Kennett says Caleb was a high achiever and always pushed himself to take advanced classes.
Probably one of the hardest working young men also at school as he was in his sporting activities.
Many in the community are shocked and heartbroken, but the biggest heartbreak is for Caleb's family. Mrs. Kennett says the best thing folks can do for the family at this time is pray.
I think they would appreciate that more than anything.
Mrs. Kennett says his family is also starting a scholarship in Caleb's honor. They're currently accepting donations. As the community mourns the loss of Caleb Rice, they remember the light he brought into the world. In Wayne County, Maggie Rickerby, WKYT.
We do have a link to donate to Caleb's scholarship fund in this story on WYMT.com. Ashland City leaders want help with ideas to make streets safer for walkers, bikers, and drivers. The city is getting a boost to help make roads safer. A $160,000 Safe Streets for All planning grant will help fund the creation of a comprehensive safety action plan. This could include installing streetlights or crosswalks. The city says they've launched an interactive map and survey online so people can pinpoint safety concerns.
You go to the City of Ashland webpage and you go under the engineering department. You'll be able to find that SS4A for all little tab on there. And if you just click on that, it'll have a brief description on what the program is. It'll have a survey, and the survey is about 14 questions and takes about 10 to 15 minutes to fill out.
The link can be found on the City of Ashland Facebook page. Officials want to direct people to fill out that survey rather than just leaving a comment on the post. Officials say more than $71,000 in emergency road aid funds is being awarded to the Owsley County Fiscal Court. It'll go toward repairing slides on 2 county roads, that's Ambergy Road and Frost Branch Road. The Perry County Fiscal Court was also awarded funds. They received more than $82,000. That'll go toward repairing a slide on Sam Campbell Branch Road. The Southern West Virginia Health System is celebrating 50 years of serving rural communities. Southern West Virginia Health System got its start in Lincoln County in the summer of 1975. Today, they have 26 locations throughout 7 counties. You can visit Southern West Virginia Health System's website to find providers near you. That's swvhs.org. Legislators heard from multiple experts on the state's housing shortage. Some go so far as to call it a crisis. According to research from the Kentucky Chamber, the state would have to build 500 million homes by 2050 to meet a robust household growth. The current shortfall is 200,000 units. It puts a drag on economic growth and job growth.
You all are no stranger to the numbers. We would rank in the bottom 10 states annually when it comes to workforce participation rate. I believe the data that we have reflects that in order, if we're going to continue to grow and to create more jobs for people, we're going to have places for them to live and raise their families.
A number of suggestions were offered to the task force members. These include cutting regulations, providing economic incentives, and streamlining the legal process for developers. Governor Andy Beshear joined officials and leaders in Franklin County for a ribbon cutting yesterday. The new facility in Frankfort will create around 220 jobs. He was also joined by leaders with NITO, a global company that manufactures high-performance materials. In a statement, the governor said yesterday events was an exciting step for Franklin County as well as the counties surrounding it. Well, one place in our area is giving folks a place to intake shelter from the heat. Officials in Letcher County put out an order saying the recreation center in Whitesburg could serve as a cool location between 6 until 9. Officials say if you have any questions, you can call 606-633-7027.
It is a cloudy start to your day, and for some folks out in the mountains, we're looking at some fog in the region. All in all, we will see these conditions stay nice for the next little bit, but temperatures are warming and we are seeing a slight chance of storms as we're heading into the afternoon. So let's dive into those temperatures. Right now we are sitting in those 70s, but we will see the overall warmth into the low 90s yet again as we head into about that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time frame. And as we go through the next couple hours, here's what we're kind of expecting: mid 70s for the main part of the morning with those cloudy conditions. As we head into the middle of the day, we're looking at the low to mid 80s, and by the time we're heading into the late afternoon and early evening, we're looking at the upper 80s and low 90s. Amelia.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:41. A block of milk chocolate, green pistachio cream, and shredded phyllo dough is now taking the world by storm. We've got the details on this treat.